Hi, this is Kerry Artek with Wicked Stocks, bringing you the Daily SPY report for Tuesday, February 1st, 2022. Before we take a look at the charts, just want to encourage you to please click like each and every time you watch the Daily SPY report. It does help us out a great deal with the search engine results we get on YouTube when people look for SPY analysis, S&P 500, so forth and so on. And subscribe. Subscribing to the Wicked Stocks YouTube channel will provide you notification each and every time the Daily SPY report has been uploaded, or any content for that matter, and seeing it early, certainly before the opening bell, when it's relevant, usable for your trading and analysis, that is obviously key. So let's take a look at the charts. A nice rally on Monday. We clearly settled back above that 442.83 long-term channel bottom, which has indicated, I'm going to say, at least a good weekly low, because over the next 3 to 5 days, possibly today, we should now reach that 457.58 former channel bottom, which is also in line with 5/8 Fibonacci upside retracement. So there's a lot going on, and we'll just call it the mid 457 handle that is in reach over the next 3 to 5 days, possibly today. I'll get to that in a moment. That 457.36 to 57.58 area, able to contain weekly buying pressures. If we test it today, we could, by Friday's close, fall back and settle below the 442.83 area. On the way up today, 451.10 is a steeply rising short-term channel top that we pushed through just a bit yesterday. I can't remember the exact number, forgive me, but it's 449 and change as I recall. It's 451.10 today. Assuming we open below it, it can contain initial highs. And from here, we can fall back to the 442.83 level on an intraday basis. But if we push, especially if we open today above 451.10, we should within the day reach that 457.36 to 57.58 area, where I say we can place a weekly high and quite possibly fall back from there into later week. The reason I'm giving this 457 handle ample respect, well, first of all, it is on the chart, of course. It's a former channel bottom we settled below a couple of weeks ago, and we also have a 5/8 Fibonacci retracement, but it's also roughly, and I definitely underscore the word roughly, in line with the triple Q resistance. Now, the triple Q is in a world unto itself. It has yet to settle back above its long-term channel bottom. It's merely retracing back up to it. So there's a case to be made for the triple Q that this is a sell pullbacks rally in the triple Q, because below that 374.23, you can make a case that 325.48 is in reach. By the end of February, I'm going to say I'm going back to 3 to 5 weeks again. I was at 2 to 3 weeks about 2 to 3 days ago before this rally. And so, it'll take maybe a week to get up to 374.23 in the triple Q. Maybe we'll do it today. And then from there, we have to fall back. So anyway, holding below 374.23 in the triple Q maintains a heavy dynamic into later February, and I can't see the triple Q going anywhere but sideways to negative, holding below that 374.23 as we continue into later February activity. Let's take a look at the possibility of closing, though, above the SPY at 457.58. Settling above 457.58, I do think if you're just looking at the SPY itself, 479.98, that high from late December becomes a realistic 2 to 3 week target. We could double top nicely there for at least a week, maybe longer. But I really think by the end of March, if we close above 457.58 after having settled below that long-term channel in the 420s, what is it? 442.83, not the 420s, 442.83. After having come back to settle above that long-term formation and closing above 457.58, I do think 495 even, new all-time highs, a retest essentially of that long-term trend line would be in order, say, by the end of March. Let's take a look at the support and resistance for today. We've got the 442.83, that long-term channel bottom we settled above yesterday. On the weekly chart, it comes in at 444.62. That is an actual range of support that can absorb selling through the rest of the week, and above which the 457.36 to 457.58 area is likely over the next 3 to 5 days. Now on the way up today, just above present prices, we have 451.10. I showed you that steeply rising channel top that can contain intraday buying pressures, and below which we could fall back into the lower 440s again on an intraday basis. But if we push or open today above 451.10, 457.36 to 58 even in reach today, where we can place a weekly high and fall back from there. And really not until we close above 457.58 do I think we've got a good low for the quarter. Well, I'm going to backtrack a little bit there because in last week's, I think it was Friday's or maybe it was Monday's video, I mentioned how we really do need to close the week Friday above 440.62, 444.62 to indicate, a good quarterly low. But I think closing today above 457.58 would be an early indication of that probability. So we'll just put it that way. Downside, if we close today back below 442.83, good weekly high, possibly a good high through the balance of February trade, given the still heavy dynamic in the triple Q. I would then anticipate 431.78 within probably 2 to 3 days. We could bounce nicely there into later week, but overall, closing the week back below 442.83, or even today below 442.83. I just want to sort of underscore the fact that if we close today below 442.83, I do think we have a good weekly high, and that would then foretell likely closing the week itself below 442.83. And then I'm back to really anticipating the upper 390s, low 400 area over the next 3 to 5 weeks. It could be much sooner than that, especially if we close below that 431.78 level at the bottom of the support and resistance. Even though it's a session containment level only, it is an aggressive downward pivot point into next week and even into later February. I think that that's all that really needs to be said for today's Daily SPY Report. I appreciate you listening and watching. Please click like each and every time you watch it. I'll be back tomorrow for Wednesday's Daily SPY Report. You have a great day.